Welcome to Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. In this part, what I want to do is carry on building up this area so I can start driving my oil refinery and starting to make it even more profitable than it already is. It's making a fair amount of money. You can see my money's slowly building back up again. But before that, guys, we're going to start with my usual section on things that I've learnt since the last part. And the first one is over here. And what I noticed is that the two trains I've now got running were not blocking each other on this very long section here. So what I've actually done is I've put in some signals here at intervals, which breaks this section of track up into blocks, which means that trains now can come into here, and if one train's on its way back, it will then allow another train to follow one block behind all the way through. I think that's quite important. Now the next one is quite a big project. If I show you here, there's lots and lots of construction signs here, because what I've actually done is after I finished the video and laying out this track, which was diesel, I suddenly realized that if I'm going to have this track running right the way down over here and down here with trains, trying to get diesel refuel stations in, because I'm not sure how far a train would have to go, say if it runs out of fuel. So what I've decided to go for is electrification. That triggered quite a major refactor. This is one of my electrification stations there. But the other thing I've also done is I've built in this area here. You can see I've built this track into here. And what I've got here is a rail construction office here, because obviously my other construction office is way over here. So what I wanted to do is get this back into this area. I've also built a warehouse and a storage area here alongside the fire station. And the idea is one, this will be used to bring in imports into this area, drive by rail and feed this area. And to complete this, what I've done is I've sent a track right out round here to this area here. And what I've done is I've built a storage area here and a warehouse, and the idea is this will be used to bring in any surplus items I need, because it's really close to the border. And this is one of the things you do need to consider as you expand into the center, especially with some items, that the further you get away from the border, the more it costs. So what I've done is I've built these two here. I'm not going to connect the track up to here because I don't think it's worth the effort. The idea is these will act as import areas, and then these items will then be shipped down to here, where I can put them into here, which will then feed this construction area here. So that is the gist of what I've been doing, guys. And the next thing I also want to talk a little bit about is footpaths. Footpaths are a real pain in the neck, and the best way I've found to do footpaths is to leave them in big sections. Don't fill them all in and connect like this. Just let them do them in these big sections. So like here, if I want to add a footpath to here, what you want to do is do this, and always make sure that you allocate a footpath that is connected to a road, because the game has a little bit of a flaw at the moment, in the sense that if you've got a footpath that say I haven't really got one here, but imagine if there was one down here that wasn't connected, say this one, and if it's connected to a road which is close to one of these junctions, the game will try and build it, but the trucks won't be able to get to it. So you want to be a bit careful from that respect. And that's about all the things I've learned. So let's just get down to review. The other thing I've also done is I'm building up my pipeline through to here. And you can see this is getting there. It's a bit short on workers. One thing I find that's slightly annoying with this game is that you can't prioritize jobs, because what I would like to do is get this pipeline finished, and we've got another pipeline here which I haven't actually allocated yet, because we've only just finished this pumping station here. And the idea is to get my fuel supply up from here to here, so that I'm no longer having to pay the high import costs. Because if I show you cost here, I'm paying 23.24 rubles per ton a delivery charge on this. So the more I can get rid of that, the better. And the other thing I've also been doing is I've now been using tanker trucks to supply these petrol stations. I've been slowly working out over time. I've been mainly concentrating on those which are some distance away. I'm not sure. I don't think you've actually got. I think you're. Oh no. Oh, that's a truck. Yeah, it's unloading. Sorry. Yeah, I thought I'd done that one. I mean, the one over here, I'm not too worried about, because if I click on this one and show there, the delivery per ton on fuel here is quite low, and I think the cost of sending a tanker truck over here to build this is a bit kind of a bit of a waste, to be honest. So I think we've got that area here. I mean, my food situation isn't brilliant yet. I'm still working on that. I'm keeping food flowing, and of course I've got my problem area here, which I've got back to here again. I'm having to buy coal, and I mean, I've got workers, but I'm still having to ship in and buy coal, and because the problem is up here, I just can't seem to get ahead now. With this here, I'm just make sure that's not switched on. It just keeps fluctuating backwards and forwards, and the strange thing here is I don't know if this is broken either, but I've got coal aggregate export full up here, but it's not coming into here. So at the moment we're having to import coal. I'm kind of wanting to kind of increase that a little bit. I think 68 tons. I've got to keep this powered, and just want to check, make sure this is flowing. But the main problem here is I just can't get the workforce into this area here, because I mean, they're happy, but they just don't want to stay. You can see here 91, and I mean, what I've done is I've built a couple of office blocks. What I've done is there's a couple of factories here, but I can't see the point of putting more people into there. And what I keep doing is sending people up there. But the problem is, every time you move somebody up here, they bring the happiness down. I mean, generally here, everything is working. Well, again, all the population is dropping quite badly here. It's down to 42. The other thing I've also noticed is that every time you seem to load the game, it's almost like the game recalculates everything. You can see here my population is crashing a little bit, and I mean, for once my births actually exceed deaths, so I'm just trying to let it run. I mean, to be honest, if the game population completely crashes and dies, well, we'll just restart again, guys, because this is my first playthrough, and so we got a lot more food running here, but we just can't seem to get this up ahead. I mean, I could just to try and pump this through. I mean, I've got the cash for it, so let's just get some more immigrants in here, and they might drive this a little bit harder. Maybe that's the only way I'm going to be able to solve that problem. I'm coming to the conclusion that happiness is very difficult to manage on when I'm playing on very hard. And the other thing I've also done is, you can see here, I've built an extra piece of track through here to get to here, because what's actually happening is I'm going to need to build this, which is my loading unloading dock, and my track laying won't actually do that. In fact, what I'm going to do is just have a quick check. Yeah, so we've got 2 unfinished jobs there. So let's get back to here. This is working hard. And you can see here that these guys are coming into here. And what should happen is eventually they will build that footpath. And what I'm trying to do is be a bit more conservative with my construction crews. Although I've got guys sat around here, I'm not sure. A tiny little bit. So I'm just going to cheat a bit here, guys. I just want that built. I don't want to waste my crew on that. So I think what we'll do is just build that bit of road out that way. And we've got some more workers in here. I'm not populating these buildings just yet, simply because I want to get these things connected up and running. The moment we're building the school here, which should be good. Once the school's finished, we can start maybe getting a few more workers into this area. I mean, there's just so much to build. I mean, just to show you guys down here. And I've got the track through here. And the other thing I want to do is start working on this, because what I'm thinking about is maybe building a construction building here. So that would allow me to then start to put together this area here. So oil. Now I can't really build anything here because I'm not sure whether it's going to let me lay this track out. I can't do a free. So let me just come back here. Well, actually, let's just lay out the oil fields first. So what we're going to do is oil rig. I mean, we've got one in right in the middle of the water. So let's just, of course, this is where we can. We got no free excavator. Great. So that means that life is going to have to be a. Well, we've got one here. Now the problem I've got with this oil field is I'm not. I mean, I'll position them so that I can have roads, but at the same time, I mean, this is going to be a good oil field, and I mean, I don't know what the position is with overlapping, and maybe we'll have another one there. Okay, we've got a fire, got another one maybe down about here, and maybe I'll send another one up here. And there's no oil there, so we got 1, 2, 3, and we got one in the center here. So we're gonna have 4 oil wells here. I think that's enough to get started with. And what I'm thinking, guys, is actually, let me just, we got one here, and then what we're going to do is come up to a collection area, say about here. So if we come to here, and what we'll probably need is, if we can get a couple of, I mean, there's if we put a couple of tanks in here, and of course I can't put them down. Okay. So much for that idea. I really need a construction up over here. And I did see a fire burning up here. Oh, my fire trucks are here, so oh, that's a bit close. I really need a second fire truck up here. Oh, they're all coming in force, so yeah. I really need to work on this area here. I just want to check where my construction train is. And the other thing is, looks like I've got a bit of a log jam here, because what I'm doing now is delivering electronic components to this area here. Of course, one thing you can do here is just come there. Also, my little track train is coming back this way, so he should be okay. The fire's being put out, so we're just going to get rid of these messages. And what I'm going to need to do is, right, it looks like this road's been finished, so let's just see what. So your pipeline, road, unfinished pipeline, and the school. So where's this road? Yeah, so this is a short road, which means it needs workers to get into it. These short roads are really irritating to build. And what I really would like is this to be built. This is here. Yeah, we got the money for that. I'm just going to push that forward, because what I really want to do is start getting these guys working on this big gravel road. I think this is a gravel road over here. Yeah, we really need to start pushing this road across here, so I can get Where can I get a construction camp? Let's just see if we can work this out. Construction office. Let's see if we're... yeah, we can get there. Let's deliberately find somewhere there. So that's about the limit. Yeah, that can't do it there. Yeah, so we get a construction office in there. That may just make sure that's a gravel road. So what we're thinking is that I can build this road out through here to this construction office, and then that will give me the ability to lay out this section here. So this road is very much a priority. Well, it looks like the school's underway. You've got a little bit of unfinished road. Just check. Oops. Thought this road was finished. No, it probably needs a roller on it. And again, it's probably a... No, it needs half a ton of asphalt. Great. Yeah. One thing I have noticed sometimes is the game gets a little bit hooked up on a very small amount, and it seems to take them a very long time to get anything done. And what we got over here, we got the kindergarten. And, I mean, we've got the bus stop here now, which will take people into there. I'm very tempted to start bringing people in. Oh, the other problem I've also had is over here with this level crossing, and I've had a couple of instances where the trains have come in here and stopped, and because the train is in this section, because it's waiting for a train to come out of this section, the crossing has been down, so it's actually blocked my traffic. So there's a little bit of a tip there, guys. Don't have the crossings near signal sections like this, so it's a mistake building this. And how are we doing here? Yeah, we just need more workers. And my worker, well, you're okay. You're happy. You're dropping. You're a little bit happier. You've got a few more workers. Let's go up and check the... Yeah, we've got 11 people now working in there, so that means this should be... That's the aggregate, sorry, wrong one. I'm still not getting production up. Am I drawing more power? Is that the problem? Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to export cell. What I'm going to do is just going to reduce the amount that we're exporting. We're going to rely a lot more on oil. So if I, at the moment I think I'm going to drop that exports to about 4. What that should do is take some of the pressure off of this area here, because we'll need to produce less electricity, and then that should make things a little bit more profitable. And this brick factory is effectively buying its own coal as well, which is okay because the number of workers in here is quite low. And again, if I show you the production cost in rubles, we're only paying 2.51 rubles per delivery. So we're, to buy this amount of coal is 200 plus 14. So I think for the price of the bricks, that is a deal worth doing. It also means my coal exports have dropped and not working. So just to show you here, guys, if we go back to last month, you can see I'm no longer exporting coal. My main export costs is power, clothes, and we've got bitumen, and of course we're not really getting that much in the way of fuel, because all the moment all my fuel is being diverted into my tankers and various other items here. I think really what I need to do now is start bringing in a few people. So I'm going to have to invite some immigrants here. So I think what we're going to do is there, and your job is going to be the oil refinery. I just think we need to get the production in this oil refinery up more now, because all these blocks are set not to auto import people. This building is without power supply. Why is that not a power supply? I'm sure I've got check here. Okay. Building's not without a power supply. Okay, so I've now got, I mean, I built this over here, so maybe I need to get this switch built. I don't think I can afford it. That's the problem. I don't know. I've got a switch there. I've got this switch. What I'm going to do is buy this. Nope. What did I do there? I'm going to fund this in rubles. Because maybe it's time to get this area fully powered up because the school's nearly finished. So what we're going to do is just drop this in here. I have to admit, guys, this game has had one of the toughest learning curves I've ever had for a very long time. Question is, let me just zoom right in. What I'd like is to build this somewhere in here, but this is going to be, I mean, I could put the substation, and we just zoom out again. I mean, I've got a little bit of a gap here, which I've allowed for sports, and I want that one to be connected. I mean, if I come to here, I mean, it's one of the annoying things of the game is that you can't, if I build a substation there, that should, yeah, I think, right, let's just power in. So if I put in substation about there, so we're just going to drop that in there. I mean, I do have a concern about the sheer amount of power that I'm drawing. And of course, this is going to need the full whack. And then we're just going to fund that with dollars. Oops. And of course, we've got to build this as well. I think what we're going to do is just knock out that bit of road there. And it's going to hook that in with a bit of dirt road, which comes free. So you can see this road is now building out quite nicely. And hopefully, once we got this whole area building up quite nicely, we will get these people really starting to work hard. And here's my little truck. He's working down this way. And we got a few more trucks out running this way. And we got this guy leveling out quite nicely with the gravel road. So gravel road should go really, really quickly. Still got no workers over here. We've got a crane on site at the moment, but the crane won't work until we've got workers there. So unfinished road. So well, you're working on that road. Unfinished road. So where is that road? Okay, are you coming to? No, you've just gone straight past it. What we're going to do is we're just going to finish this road off because it's just an expensive liability. And, I mean, this is the annoying thing with these small roads is the sheer pain in the neck of actually trying to build them. And hopefully that will free up some workers here. Let's just check where this one is. Oh, this is my second pipeline. I've got another pipeline Oh, this is the pipeline that's running. So what's the other pipeline then? So this. Why does it keep going to the same pipeline? Oh no, this one is up here. So I think we're going to suspend construction on that, so let's get them to focus on one job at a time. So how are we doing here? Yeah, we got our workers building up this, so that should be a lot better. The other thing I also want to show you guys here is trees, and I think I posed the question in the last video about whether if you plant trees they will chop them down, and the answer is yes, they will. But what they seem to do is they don't recognize new trees until they've harvested all the old trees. So what I've done is I've brushed in all these trees here, and you can see these crews are up here working pretty hard, and this area's going pretty well. And again, the happiness in this area is pretty good. And just get back to here. So births are now starting to exceed deaths. You can see that I've still got problems with culture and sport. And this is the whole problem up this area here. I mean, it's just holding this area here. I mean, it is building up slowly. I mean, just have a quick check. I think this area seems to just develop a lot of problems. Like sport seems to be a big issue. Yeah. So what I'm kind of wanting to do is specialize some of these buildings. I mean, that's driving the kindergarten. And a top tip here, guys, is just don't ever let your small shopping centers run out of staff, because that just knocks down your happiness and the people just leave very, very quickly. So it's food, sport, culture at the higher levels. If you don't keep that up, these areas degenerate incredibly quickly, which is a little bit of a pain in the neck. And my meat production here is completely useless. I'm half inclined just to dump it, to be honest, guys. In fact, I think I probably will. I mean, because I'm just gonna remove you. It's just becoming a bit of a waste of time. And what I'm thinking, guys, is that I'm going to just build another farm somewhere else, because as the whole empire expands, we're going to need another farm, because this isn't going to feed the whole of the country. And as I said before, if we build a steel town down here, part of building a steel town down here, probably on this side, we'll build another farm. And I think what I will do is have a settlement totally dedicated to producing food, and then once we got that settlement up and running, I'll just replace this lot and maybe put a field in, because this has just been a bit of a waste of effort. I think I was way too ambitious there. And another reason for building warehouses here is that once this line is built, I can bring up my own fabric, which can then feed the clothing factories here. And to that view, maybe because I can't build over here, what I can do is think a little bit about laying out my chemical production. I don't want this to be affected, and I think this is a mistake you can make. Is what you need is people feeding into a dedicated area. So I'm kind of half thinking, because one of the advantages of the chemical plant is because you've got food. The chemical plant needs, let me just show you here. So the chemical plant needs gravel. Wow, that's a lot of consumption of maximum production. Gravel, wood, crops, oil. So strictly speaking, I don't need my chemical plant to be that close to the oil refinery. What I really need is wood and other items. So we could almost build it up over here somewhere. And the other one is plastics. So this produces, but at the moment plastics is a little bit of an advancing. That needs oil. So maybe we'll build a chemical town here and then connect that up with another rail line in. We could bring oil over. The problem's going to be getting the other items in. And to be honest, I'm not sure what we produce here. Plastics factory, electronic components factory. So that needs plastics. That's mechanical components, but that needs a steel mill. I mean, electronics assembly, that needs consumption maximum. So we need electronic components. So that we need that there, which needs steel. So we before we can do that, we really need a steel mill. And I've just suddenly thought. So yeah, that's. I'm not sure where I'm going to put that industry, actually, to be honest now. I mean, it could be a little bit of a challenge. Anyway, I think I need to concentrate on just getting up my oil production here. So we've got 21 people in here at the moment. Yeah, these guys are... The only way these can get food is by coming over here. So I really need to build this area up. School bus platform. Where's this bus platform then? Oh, this is the lower bus platform here, which I'm going to need to bring people down here to enjoy the privileges of my area here. I think I've lost a cinema actually. Oh, I had a big gap here. No, there's a cinema there. I think this is one of the problems when you these long-term builds, you forget what you're actually trying to build. So, and what we need to do is get this out here. We need 2 more sections of road through here, and then that will be built up. So my truck right here is finished. This is just needs workers to finish. Kind of. And where do we want to move to next? You're building that up. And you've got spare equipment. So I think what we're going to do is get this underway next. Because if this is built, and we've got this built, this has got a road connection. We can put a bus link between these two. Then these people up here who want food can come down to here. The problem we will have is some staff for it. So what I'm going to need to do is come into here. And now we've built this road. Now put the links in like this. Across here. I've got a bit of cash. I'm just going to cheat again, guys. Just build that road in there. Now I am planning to do another series where I build everything from scratch, so little cheats like that won't be possible when I do that series, but you never know. You can see we've now built this footpath here, which has worked out really well, and well, we can certainly get rid of that. I don't know, just nick out that bit there. This is something you need to be very careful about, is when you build footpaths, make sure that the footpaths themselves, you don't get little odd pieces which you can then miss when you're trying to build things. The next footpath I'd like to do is so what have you got? You don't have much. How's the road crew here? Yeah, you're not doing that much, so I think we can add that footpath to your job list. Right, so how's my economy going? So we've made that. We're now making a profit, regular profit, because this is one of the advantages of a construction, that once you've got the construction up and running, you can start to make a reasonable profit. So you can see the main profit now is power, clothes, a little bit of alcohol, a few bricks, a little bit of prefabs. So the prefabs and boards train probably isn't really making that much money, but the bitumen is building up. Of course, the main thing with fuel is that the moment a lot of the fuel is going into these tanks here. I mean, I could probably Yeah, so moment most of my fuel, and we're actually I wonder if we can have a specialist trains. Maybe that's something I need to do, because I don't really have enough money for another train. Maybe in the next part we'll save up the money, I'll build the money up, and then what we'll do is have 2 trains running here, one doing bitumen and one doing fuel. So we do have a little bit of a surplus of fuel here. Of course, the main thing is I am offsetting the costs of my fuel now, well, at least for my petrol stations. I'd just like to get this built. Why can't I get anyone into here? I mean, that's 8,000. Very tempted. Very tempted. Yeah, I think we're going to build that pipeline just to keep the process running, and then that will free up. I think what was happening is this road crane was stuck. Yeah, you can see now he's actually going to go off and do another job. So maybe I won't allocate this here. Where are you going? Yes, there's nothing. Yeah. Oh, you're just going up to get some fuel. Where's that road crane going? So you're going to the school. So hopefully, now I've got this road crane running, he will come down here and finish this school off. Because sometimes if you get a crane, goes, have a quick check, this is full. I mean, really, I need another construction office, to be honest. I've just got so much construction running here. Right, this one's now finished. You've got the grading equipment. So what we're going to do is add that to this one here. And if you've got anything here that's, yeah, you've got a truck, and you've got another bulldozer. I think what we're going to do is, what do we need you working? We've got this road out here. I'm not sure how I managed to build that. Just trying to think where I can. Yeah, I think what we're going to do is come out this way, because I need to build this, so that then my construction trains can come through here. Yeah, I think that would be the better priority. I think once we got this school built, yeah, so we've now got a crane on site, so this should go quite quickly. So it's got no workers. Thank you, game. So I had workers, no crane. Now I've got a crane and no workers. Although the crane may actually push this forward a little bit. I think this is both one of the pleasures and the frustrations of this game. And I'm going to be completely honest, guys, if you're not into micromanagement, this may not be the game for you, because it can be, it can get to that level that you've really got to get down and micromanage a lot of the aspects of the game. Just bit. I mean, how much would it cost me to buy a new train? So it would cost me 77,000 for one of these, and then we would need, so it cost me about 177,000. No, I don't think I'm going to do that just yet, guys. If I can get this up to about 350,000, I might go for that. So this is building up. How many workers? We got 31 workers in here. Just want to check my coal production. So we got 6 workers here. We're producing 12.5 tons of coal, which is probably not enough. No. So we do need more workers in this area. Let's see if I can move some people. Right, let's just remove you from that, so you're not in the livestock farm anymore. Food factory. Facts. So you're now doing. So your sole function is the football and the fire station, because I need to make sure this is still fully staffed. What else have we got here? Food factory, grocery store, yes. I think we're getting a little bit far away. The workforce here is dropping as well. Fire station. Yep. Yeah. School. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's just check the population again. We've got more deaths than births. We've had 9 escapes. Oh, the joys and joys of this game. So you're 38. You're 77. You're 57. You're 96. So you're doing okay. You're really happy. And this is a block of flats that I actually emptied. Because what I've been doing is just trying to concentrate people into one building. Let's see. Yeah, I think I've lost a lot of my professors. Have now been diverted into other jobs. So you're doing okay. You're driving the cinema, keeping everybody happy. Just check down here, and you're okay. Yep, clothing factory. Again, this is another empty block. I think this one's got a few people in. And again, I mean they're happy, but they're just not growing. And over here, I think this is one of my happier blocks. I've actually routinely pulled people from this one, and again, you can see these people are really happy. It's just the population's not growing. I mean, visit church. I mean, there's 32 people want to visit church, but there's no demand here. So, I think we're doing okay, guys. It's just going to take a little while to get here. And oh, the other thing I've also done is built this here. This is going to be my train depots. And I don't have a construction site over here. So what we may have to do is, once we've got this area built up, we may have to send a construction crew all the way over here to build this. Because this is where we're going to recruit our electric trains from. Be able to recruit electric trains here, I'd have to electrify this whole section of line, which will then disrupt my economy, because while the electrification is going on, the trains won't be able to run. So that's something else you want to bear in mind, guys. So this will be feeding my diesel trains, and probably some of these distribution will be diesel trains. But we'll see how that goes. Right, so this school is just building up now. The crane's working. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit and take a look-see. What I'm going to do is just speed this up a little bit. Let's see if we can get this finished. Yeah, you can see it's the bars moving over quite slowly and steadily. And so you're driving the oil refinery. You've got no one lives there. And we've got a few more people growing up in this area. And what we probably could do with, I mean, this is where my workers are mainly coming from. You're driving this area here, just have a quick check. Got some teachers. Kindergarten's doing okay. The store's got plenty of people in it, keeping everybody happy. I think it was probably a mistake putting people into this before this was actually built down here. So this is building up, nearly there, and this will get built through here. Anyway, guys, I think this is where I'm going to leave it. What I will do is play the game a little bit off camera, try and get this road connection built through up to this construction office, so that we can then start building and putting this area up, because the next priority is got to be getting the oil in here. So we're going to need to get this track built. And you can see my train is now building down through here. So once we got this built, we can then lay this section of track here, so that I can then start to make this connection down here. This connection this way is a bit more of a secondary priority. though we're going to have to get up to at least here so that we can buy the trains. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.